Hey, what's up, Resilient Church? My name is Jake Thurston, as you probably well know. I'm your lead pastor, and today is an exciting day because I get to lead you through a finance report. Woo! Yeah, we love finance reports. But the reason why we're doing this is every 2 months or so, we want to give you updates on how we're faring as a church. As we've shared multiple times, our fiscal years run May 1st through April 30th. And this particular fiscal year we're in is a really important one because this is our first year where we're fully on our own without any of the help of our church plant startup grants that many other churches and institutions gave us to really help us get up on our feet. So we just want to track to see how are we doing financially, how's giving looking, how's our expenses, and just to keep you all in the loop as well. So you can see how our expenses are, to hold us accountable so we can be fully transparent with the resources that God is giving us and to see how we're looking. So we're going to go through our recent finance report for May and June. I know this was recorded towards the end of July, but we're going to look at the first 2 months of our fiscal year and see how things are looking. So let's dive right in. As you can see right here, this is the report of the amount of money that has come in so far in May and June and our projections through the rest of the fiscal year. So remember, we run May through April. And here's what's really exciting. As you can see from this orange line, this is what has actually come in right down here. And then the orange dotted line is what we are projected to have come in. Whereas this blue line is the budget that we were anticipating to bring in for this year. So if you can see, the numbers between what we're anticipated to bring in and what's on budget is actually on track. We are actually anticipated to bring in $41 more than what we have budgeted for income. And that's really great. That's what you want to be looking for this early in the game. So the question is, we've had $35,000 come in already, $35,374. Let's break it down and let's see how those numbers are looking. So of that 35 grand, $12,500 of that was from you guys. It was given to the general fund from our Resilient Church attenders. That's really great. We love to see that. Then another $8,819 of this 35 grand number has come from our partners program. So these are all the people who live outside of Vermilion, Resilient alumni, maybe some parents of students or some of our other friends or family who want to support our ministry. The partners program brought in almost 9 grand. And then, as of June, we raised $14,057 towards the Community Center Launch Fund. We're recording this in July, so we know those numbers for the campaign that we're doing are larger. But again, we're just looking at May and June for where things are at right now from the income side. So that shows the breakdown. So we'll most likely see a boost in income for May through August because of this fundraiser we're doing, and then it'll probably even out a little bit more as the fall semester and spring semester comes around. So that's where we're looking at for income. And then let's come down here and look at our cumulative expenses. So this is very similar to the last graph that we saw, but this is specific towards our expenses. And if you could look at this, we're actually under budget for the year. So our budget was estimated around $281,000 for this year, and that includes the $50,000 of launch expenses that we're going to put in towards the community center. We're currently projected to have only $277,000 spent, so that's really, really good. So this is a general overview of our statement of activity from the first 2 months of our fiscal year. So it shows you how much has come in. May brought in $16,000, June brought in $19,000. So through those first 2 months, we brought in $35,000. That's according to our budget, with an annual budget of $212,000 that we're projected. So then you can look through the different, like these are the main categories of our expenses. We have subcategories and things. We're not going to bog you down with all that information. The main thing here is you want to see how are the expenses lining up with our budget, and is there anything that's particularly over budget that's going to show up here in red. Only things for you to take note on is we have a little bit extra here than anticipated in our admin expenses. That's just because we have a number of different subscriptions that run at the beginning of the year, so that's a little offset right there, but still looking good for budget over there. And then over here, Mason must have gotten crazy with this worship budget or something. What's $5,300? Just kidding. This is going to be recategorized to a community center launch expense right up here. That is the first installment of our tech equipment that we're going to be put into the Dakota Center later this fall. So that's going to be moved up there. The main thing that we need to see down here is how our revenue is doing. We also earned $6,000 in interest from our savings account, so that's awesome. And that kind of shows you essentially where we're at for savings and all that. So the main number here that we need to identify is this, the minus $57,000 for the budget. Our anticipated income is $212,000, but our anticipated expenses is $281,000. That's because we are anticipating having to take out quite a bit from savings this year to accommodate for this being our first year being fully self-sustaining. So as you can recall, the For Vermilion initiative is a 3-year-long campaign for us to expand our efforts for Vermilion. We're launching the community center. We're hoping our church is going to grow. We're going to reach more people. And in the same breath, we're going to become sustaining as a church financially. So we have a 3-year plan of how much we're going to be taking out of savings, and that number is going to get less and less each year, so that by year 4, we're at around that $20,000 per month mark for us to be sustaining our current budget. But the question I have for us, do we want to see this number go down? We want to obviously take as few of dollars out of savings as possible. Can this be the year where we see giving increase so much where we don't have to take anything else out of savings? And here's why this matters. Because we're not giving towards budgets and to see this report, right? You know, to see all the things that are going towards small groups and payroll expenses and insurance and all that stuff. This is just simply a flyover view of the work and the expenses that go into the ministry that we're doing, right? Think about all the incoming freshmen that are coming up here this August who are going to need to find a church home as soon as they move to a new community in Vermilion. Think about the people who are going to be joining small groups this next year and diving deeper in their faith for the first time, or the salvations that are going to occur this year, or the baptisms of the people who are going to declare the amazing work that God is doing in their life and the next steps they're going to take in their journey. Think about all the outreach opportunities we're going to do in our city to see God do a massive work here. Our giving isn't just to make sure the programs happen, right? Or for us to balance a spreadsheet. Our giving is to support the work that God wants to do in us and through us as His church, to see our city transform, to see college students live on fire for Jesus, for us to reach more families with kids than ever before. This is a pivotal year for us, not just financially, but also for our mission. We're not just supporting a community center because we have a new building. We're supporting a spiritually positive environment for people to gather that's not a bar or something else that's toxic. This is why we're doing what we're doing, and this is why our giving matters. So we show all these numbers to you just to hold us accountable and to be transparent with what's going on, and so that you can be informed, but also just to remind us of the vision that we're chasing. We want to see lives transformed. We want to see vibrant lives formed that withstand hardship. And our giving gets to support that. So our numbers are looking great so far, so much to celebrate. Thanks for already listening this long to a finance update for this first, I guess it's our second For Vermilion initiative update. And so continue to pray. Thank you for your generosity. And if you haven't given yet, or if you'd like to update your gifts, you can hop onto the Church Center app and press the give button, and then you can give that way. Otherwise, visit resilientchurch.org, theresilientchurch.org, and head over to the give button there in the top right corner, and you can set up your gift from there. Thank you so much, friends. So excited for what God's continue to do, and we'll see you in the next update.